Hi, Chris.
Good evening. How are you?
Good.
Happy New Year.
You too. I see I got it worked to get the meeting started here.
Good. Yeah, I was wondering, I sent you the thing, but I didn't know if like Chris Kirby needed to get involved and blah blah blah.
Nope,
So
it worked like a charm.
wonderful. Glad to hear it. I'm reading from Porch Form. I don't even know sorry to say what a millipede is. And I didn't know it could be a pet. Someone's looking for a tank for it, but anyway.
Let me,
Absentee ballot requests. We could have called.
I'm not seeing anything about the lobby or anything here.
Um, I don't think that shows up. I think people just come in, but maybe I'm wrong, but I don't recall that.
Well, let me see here. Okay, we'll need one more for a quorum.
Well, it's 6:30 on the nose, so
Hmm.
okay. How is your family?
Good.
Now,
You?
your children, are any of them in college yet? I couldn't remember how old they are.
One of them is out of college
Oh
and
my
teaching.
God. All right.
Uh, one of them, well, two of them are out of college. One of them has been teaching for 4 years. I think this is his fourth year.
Wow.
Um,
Oh my God,
Another
where?
one taught for a couple years and is doing some student teaching, not student teaching, substitute teaching, and does music for a number of different churches in the Burlington area.
I'm old. I just can't. I'm constantly reminded how old I am. It seems like your kids were in high school just yesterday, and now you're telling me they graduated from college. So yeah.
Well, one of them was in high school last year.
All right.
So,
Okay.
and two of them are in college right now.
Wow. Where are they going?
CCB.
And where did the one who graduated go?
Um, I had one at Colby and one at UVM.
Oh wow.
So,
Colby, that's pretty fa. That's where my most of my mother's and some of my father's families lived in the Waterville, Winslow,
hmm.
Fairfield area. I went there
Yeah,
a lot.
there's a great little creamy place in Farmington. Yeah.
Oh yes, Farmington, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, we have a quorum
We
now.
have a quorum. Good evening,
So,
everyone. Happy New Year.
so I will start the meeting at 6:32. Let me pull up the agenda here. Okay, and does someone want to read the acknowledgement?
I will.
Okay.
I have it here, I believe. Just um Okay. Uh, we acknowledge that Barre City was developed on Sokoke Abenaki land, which the Western Abenaki Nation never ceded, made treaty for, nor were they conquered. We aspire to create a space in our meetings that is inclusive, participatory, and equitable. We acknowledge we all come from different experiences and that our experiences may be affected by racism, sexism, classism, homophobia, ableism, and many other systems of oppression. We are here to address equity within the systems of our city in order to inform the City Council of our findings. We acknowledge that systemic inequities exist and do not debate the personal experiences of marginalized and underrepresented community members. With that in mind, it is important that we are thoughtful of the impact of our words on each other in this space.
Okay. Are there any adjustments to the agenda? Hearing none. The next action is to approve the minutes from the November meeting. And, oh, I should add to the adjustments to the agenda approval of the minutes for the December meeting as well.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay. And have people gotten a chance to read the minutes of the November and December meetings?
Yes.
Okay. Any discussion? I would entertain a motion for the November meetings.
I'll make the motion.
Okay. I'm assuming that's to approve the minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll
And a
second it.
Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the minutes from November signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay. Is there a motion regarding the December meeting?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
Okay.
And I will second that.
Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Now let's move on to old business. You all received the October 7th, 2020 statement regarding October 7th, 2023. I will say that the statement was I'll get to you in a minute, Lisa. That statement was made, created, I believe it was October 27th, 2023. So, yes, the chair recognizes Lisa Leota.
Hi, William. I'd just like to point out that as members of the public, the way the agenda was written, it didn't give us any idea of what that statement was about. And I spent a considerable amount of time trying to search online to find out what the statement was. It appears that the minutes had the wrong date even. So very difficult for the public to know what's coming up and
Okay.
very untransparent. I'm just putting that out there. For folks who are going to watch this recording, they have no idea what the statement says and what's going to be discussed here.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
I will get the statement up here.
William, would you mind if I ask a question about this?
Sure.
old business item. I noticed it was listed in the December minutes also as old business. So when was it new business?
Uh, that would have been in 2023.
In 2023.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me get that statement here.
May I speak?
Go ahead.
Um, as several of you weren't on the committee then, and so I'm trying to think back. We had a discussion about the October 7th events, I think at the meeting immediately after that occurred, and it was discussed that William and I believe, would each write a statement or something. I don't remember. I'm
It,
not
it, we agreed to do one jointly.
one jointly. Okay.
Yes.
And it kind of fell by the wayside. And William, you knew that I assume William, I don't want to speak for you, but just renewed it as an issue when he became president and or chair of the committee. So I think that's why we're discussing it now. I did not see the statement until everyone else. So this is new for me as for anyone. And I just wanted to provide that brief history.
Mm-hmm. I believe I provided the statement originally back in 2023, but
You probably
um,
did, and I'm just not.
it has been a while.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. So
Okay, so this statement was authored by you, William, and
Correct.
not participated in by any of the other committee members?
That is correct. I would,
Okay.
William, can I
and
ask you a question?
go ahead.
I sent an email and asked you for the sources that you used, and understanding that this is several years old, you may not know that. Do you think that this is appropriate to continue to try to publicize or present a statement for something that happened so long ago, and then you haven't reflected anything different in the statement since 2 years ago?
Well, we agreed to make the statement, to have a statement. And so basically I am, and then it was dropped. And so if people decide that they don't want to make a statement, that's perfectly acceptable. But um, I felt that it was something that was on the agenda and that we should address, even if the addressing it is merely to table the statement. The other thing that can be done is I provided, I have provided the statement so that people could provide feedback regarding the statement as well. And right now,
Would you
I'm
would you be
trying.
able to answer the questions though that I asked, which were, do you still stand behind this statement, or do you think that it should be um, revised in any way since there has been so much time that has passed? And do
I
you recall
okay.
any of the sources that you may have used?
I can tell. Let me bear with me for just a moment here. Oh, that's where I should go. I'm pulling up the statement now here. And
Yeah,
hopefully,
William, I haven't ever seen this statement. I was wondering if you'd be willing to read it.
sure. On October 7th, 2023, Hamas terrorists attacked Israel in the worst massacre of Jews since the Holocaust, as the world's oldest hatred raised was put on display. On the 50th anniversary of the start of the Yom Kippur War, over 1,400 Israelis were murdered, women raped, babies burnt alive in an act of moral depravity. We stand with Israel as God's chosen people are once again under attack. We reject the anti-Semitic calls for a ceasefire in an attempt to prevent Israel from bringing those who committed these atrocities to justice. There cannot be peace when the goal of Hamas is the destruction of Israel. There cannot be peace until those who committed these acts of evil are brought to justice, until those who planned these attacks are brought to justice, until those who funded these attacks are brought to justice. We have already seen the anti-Semitism on display, from congresswomen showing 10-year-old photos and reporting them to be of Palestinian children killed and leading anti-Semitic groups into the halls of Congress. We have seen multiple student groups blaming Israel for the Hamas butchery. We have seen Israel being falsely accused of bombing a hospital that was struck by a Hamas rocket. While Israel has warned the residents of Gaza to leave, Hamas is preventing them from doing so because it believes that the sight of dead Palestinians will lead to a condemnation of Israel. We recognize that the only way to help the Palestinian people is the way in which the German people in Nazi Germany were helped, through the total destruction of their Nazi leadership. During the Second World War, former President Herbert Hoover proposed a program to help feed the people of Europe through a cross-blockade program. Winston Churchill opposed it as he believed that the Nazis would just use the relief for their own purposes. In the same way, any attempt to provide relief to Gaza would be used by Hamas in their efforts to destroy Israel.
Wow, just hearing you say that as the chair of the Diversity and Equity Committee just kind of blows my mind. I'm not sure how you ended up in that position, but that is just asinine. Thank you.
I'd like to motion that we table this agenda item, like table the proposal that we make a statement on this.
I'm not clear on what you're requesting. Rick.
No, no.
Are you suggesting that we table it to just take it off the agenda permanently, or table it to discuss at a later meeting, or?
Yeah, I'm not 100% clear on the rules around that. I'm just suggesting that we consider not making a public statement about the conflict.
I want to, yeah, and I will offer my opinion that the statement reflects a moment in time that is no longer current. It does not serve the purposes of this committee, and yeah, so I think it should be removed permanently.
Is that your? I do see some people have their hands raised. I'm going to the committee members first here.
Excuse me, William, can I just ask a question for Matt? Rick made a motion. Matt, was that a second for the
Yeah.
motion because you're in favor of it?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks.
Mhm.
Okay. A motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay. I will allow the members of the public to participate. I'll start with Danielle.
I think
William,
Greg had his hand up.
yeah, Greg had his
Oh,
hand
go
up.
ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I wanted to agree with Matt on this. It's just really dated. And it doesn't really I don't think it would serve a purpose at this point to make a statement after so much time has passed. So, yeah, I think we should just table it and forget about it.
Okay. Chris?
Yes. I agree with Rick, Matt, and Greg. Um, Primarily for the reasons expressed in my email today to the committee, which the people from the public who are present wouldn't know, so I'll explain it briefly that we have done this, we have done things similar to this in the past, so it's not unprecedented. I drafted a statement about January 6th, and the committee agreed that it should be read at a city council meeting, but we never adopted it as a formal statement, I guess, or I would call it, nor did we pass it on to the council as a resolution. We then did two resolutions that we did refer to council and that the council uh, voted on as formal resolutions. One was in response to uh, the events, the global protests after the Rodney King murder. And the other was a statement condemning. Well, the first, the statement I just mentioned, that was condemning police brutality and racism. The second resolution was condemning hatred against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders as a result of a mass shooting in Atlanta and the hatred, the very common hatred being expressed toward Asian Americans because of the COVID epidemic. So we have done these something like this in the past, but my I agree with what other committee members have said that this statement is dated at this point.
I would concur.
Um, that's not to say that we may not want to have a resolution at some point condemning anti-Semitism. We didn't write anything after the mass shooting in Pittsburgh, for example, and we don't respond to every event that occurs, and maybe we shouldn't. Maybe that's something as a committee we should discuss if it's not directly relevant or germane to specific events here in Barre that maybe I don't know. I think that's a discussion for another day. Anyway, I just wanted to get on the record stating that, and that's pretty much what I have to say. Thank you.
Yeah, and just really quickly to tag on to what Chris is saying, I think it's really important that we as a committee collaborate on statements like this before we actually bring them public. Like we should really agree on what the principles are that we're discussing, the principles behind what we're saying.
Yeah. And as I said, basically, this was something that was brought to Chris and me to provide a statement. I believe Chris didn't have an opportunity to get involved. And so because it was brought up, I wanted to have it on the agenda until such time as it could be addressed. It sounds like people wish to table it at this point, which will end it because that will be addressing it. I do see, as I said, that there are some hands up from the public. I do see also there are two people online that don't have full names. Jim D. and there's an iPhone Suzanne, and we just need to get your names for the public record here.
That's Dreschler.
What's that?
Dreschler.
Dreschler. Dreschler.
You got it.
Okay. And Suzanne?
And I'm sorry, I'm driving. Suzanne Richman, Richman, and I'm a chaplain in Central Vermont,
Okay.
a Jewish chaplain. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So let me start with those who have raised their hands. Let's start with Danielle. Go ahead, Danielle.
Great, thanks. Hopefully you can hear me okay.
Yes.
Oh, I wanted to make a correction. Chris, it's George Floyd. Rodney King was a while back.
Oh,
So probably
sorry. I'm sorry. I
it's
just
all right. I just wanted to make sure that we all remembered that.
yeah.
So I was able to at least read the statement, which I understand was written by William and nobody else on the committee. As I understand it, the statement addresses international conflict and political issues that are outside the Jedi B committee's charter and mission. Past committee minutes show really no precedent for adopting resolutions on foreign policy, and I would say this is different than the previous resolutions and because this was a statement, not a resolution, as the previous resolutions were written, they were actually written in solidarity to the residents of Barre City. So this is not written in that way at all. The language in the statement, I find it to be polarizing and not consistent with the committee's goal of fostering inclusive, constructive dialogue. And I'm glad that it's being tabled because I think adopting it could misrepresent the diverse perspectives of our community members, many of whom may hold differing views on international events, and therefore it really wouldn't fairly reflect the inclusive values the committee is meant to uphold and those folks of Palestinian origin or Jewish origin in our communities. So I'm glad to hear that this will be tabled, and thank you for the opportunity to talk.
Okay. Lisa?
Hi, William. What I want to, I did not have time to craft something nearly as eloquent as Danielle did. It's going to be much more to the point, and I want to say that what I am going to say is not a personal attack on you. This is my opinion, but I think it's important to say it. Um, I think that this is the worst piece of writing that I have seen in a very long time. It is loaded with conjecture and bias. It's inflammatory. It's highly subjective and not objective in the slightest. It's an opinion piece.
It's
And
based on
it's
fact. I would say that I believe it's inaccurate in terms of 1400. I believe it was 1200.
okay, it's still biased because it is very one-sided and as Sonia said, she asked for citations on where these facts came from, supposed facts. It's rambling, and this is what, and I'm really unclear what the goal of this is. What is this? What would this be trying to achieve if it were out there? And from all the pieces I put together on this, none of this is the scope of the Barre City Jedi B committee. And I would encourage you to table this, and this is not this committee's scope. And if you're looking to think on future statements, I would go back to what is the charge to the Barre City Jedi B committee, and what are you trying to achieve for the citizens of Barre City? Thank you.
Okay. Ellen.
Hi, I'm Ellen Kay. I saw with horror that you brought this back to this committee. I have a shirt on that said, Jews say, let Gaza live. I am a Jewish person. I was on this committee. I am horrified that you think that you can speak for Jewish people at all. We are not a monolith. A huge percentage of Jews are horrified by what Israel has done to Gaza, that it has murdered 50, 60,000 people, including tens of thousands of children in the ensuing time since you wrote this. This is vile and horrible. It has nothing to do with the committee. I think that the committee, okay, first of all, I'm a Jewish person who believed everything I understood to be the values of Judaism, which are to stand against oppressors, which are to stand with people who are under tyranny. Gaza and the Palestinians are living in an occupied state by the people who speak in my name for me as a Jew, and they do not speak for me. And I think it is incredibly offensive and presumptive of you, who I understand not to be a Jewish person, to speak about anti-Semitism. I grew up with anti-Semitism. I know what it looks like. I know what it smells like. Criticism of Israel is not anti-Semitism. Many Jews like myself do it proudly and do it out of obligation to what we understood to be the ethics and morals of Judaism. In this case, the Israeli government is behaving more like the Nazis than ethical Jewish people. And I find this statement to be the most horrendous thing I have heard. And I will call on the committee to censure you for bringing this. You also in the past have expressed your anti-abortion, anti-choice views on this committee. That's 51% of the population who you want to rule over their choices, over their own bodies. I think you should step off the committee. I said
And I
it
believe
before.
your 2 minutes are up. Thank you.
Excuse me. All of a sudden there's 2 minutes. Yeah, you might have wanted to say that at the beginning of the meeting. This is horrendous, and I hope the committee and the city takes action on this very hateful move and many of your other hateful moves on this committee.
Okay. Thank you, Ellen. Although much of what you said was inaccurate in that it is not Israel that is in control of Gaza. It was Gaza that was in control of Gaza that was not letting people leave. I don't believe there's anything in this statement other than the number of people that were killed that is inaccurate. However,
William, I'm going to interrupt you because I've asked you for sources and you still haven't given them. So it's hard to know where the facts are coming from.
Yeah, and this
okay.
is a guy that you've completely ignored. So don't, excuse me, your facts are wrong and unsubstantiated. So I'm not.
Sonia, I can, if you want me to get those to you, I can get those to you. Okay. I had them at the time that the statement was written. And I can certainly get those to you. I'm assuming which portions are you looking to get information on? Is it
anything that you consider a fact that is not your opinion should be substantiated with actual sources.
Okay. So the section about Winston Churchill opposing Herbert Hoover's program and Herbert Hoover's
William,
program.
anything in here that's not your opinion should be substantiated with a source.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I want. So if it's every single sentence was based on something that you read or heard, I want to know where you got that, what the source is.
Okay. I can get that to you.
I'd also, for the record, I'd like to correct William's statement that Gaza was controlled by Hamas entirely. That's inaccurate. It is controlled in some ways, but the Israeli government does control a lot of things about Gaza, such as international trade. They control all the medications and supplies that come into Gaza, and they use that control to suppress the Palestinian people.
I'm going to call for a vote on the tabling of the measure. Okay. Okay, so all those in favor of tabling the measure signify by saying aye.
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 Okay. Measure has been tabled. Okay. Let's move on to the next item on the agenda. And that is the information on expenditures approved in the May meeting. Do you have any information on that, Greg?
I do not.
Okay. Does anyone have any information on that?
we should have Joellen, invite Joellen to come and
Okay.
dress up because it's really something she was working on, I think. So
Could I interject here for a moment?
Go ahead, Son. Yeah.
Jo Ellen is trying to close out the grant, and she's been working with someone at City Hall, maybe Janet. And that Janet was not able to do it, and they're still working on it. But Jo Ellen asked me if she could pass along to me the timeline information. That was one of the expenditures, is getting the timeline printed, I think. And she's working on that part of it, and I think she's worked on other parts that are that we approved in May and then just need to be finalized. So yes, I think inviting Joellen in would be very helpful, or just
Mhm.
having a conversation with her to be able to report
Okay.
back what that is.
Okay. And committee, so I think we'll table that for the next meeting without objection.
I'll second that.
Okay. All those in favor?
If I could just make a point of order,
Go ahead.
you can't make a motion. You're the chair. Someone
Yes,
else has to make
I
the
was
motion.
suggesting tabling it without objection, which would require unanimity. But otherwise, we can have Rick make the motion and have someone else second it.
Okay, I move that we table the discussion on information on expenditures until next meeting.
I second that.
Any discussion?
Can I ask a question? Who's going to get in touch with Joellen to ask her?
I can do
I
that.
can try to reach out.
Okay.
Okay. And okay, so committee reports and assignments. Uh, any action on your committee? On the Greg?
No, not yet. Not at this time.
Okay.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna contact Joellen and see if we can get that going. And of course, if anyone else would like to join the committee, that would be wonderful. Or the working group.
Would
Yeah.
this be the policy review working group?
No, this is the education.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Is there anyone who wants to join the education working group? Okay. Okay. And on the policy, I did not have a chance to go over any additional policies. Did anyone else find anything that um, you wanted to bring up?
um I just wanted to make my apologies to the committee. I still need to distribute the materials for both subcommittees.
Mhm.
My house is in a total state of disrepair at the moment. I'm having work done, and so I will do this. I commit to doing it for the next meeting. Um, whatever information Joellen passed on to me, I will pass on to the committee. And
Okay.
on regarding the two subcommittees. Um, but yeah, I would like to get started on this. I was looking at the ordinances, some of the ordinances today. I happened
Mhm.
to be on the city website for something else, and it made me think of. I saw the ordinances, and I'm like, we really need to get going on this. So, anyway, yeah, I will have that ready for our next meeting in February.
Okay. Okay. And I have the discussion on items from the December meeting. Um,
I'm not sure what that is. Did
I
we?
believe we had some things we were discussing that were on the agenda for the December meeting, and then there was also the discussion on neurodivergency. Let's,
Oh, so language access policy.
yes.
Oh, the language access policy. Yeah, that was
Has any action been taken on that? Is there anyone who wants to take charge?
I'd be happy to work on that as I
Okay.
have been involved in work on a language access policy through my work when I worked for the city of Montpelier.
Okay. And I believe, Sonia, you were going to look into what the policy was.
I sent everyone a copy of the policy from Burlington.
Okay.
Um, and unfortunately, that was the only one that I found in my search, but I did talk to the city manager, and he is going to put in a request to the Vermont League of Cities and Towns to see if there's a model policy that would be
Okay.
appropriate for us, or if there are other communities that have policies. I think, Rick, if you have
Mhm.
something from the city of Montpelier, that would be helpful as well. I didn't find it. It may be that other communities have it, and it didn't come up in my search. So,
Okay.
the one from Burlington is very lengthy and very thorough, and I'm not sure we necessarily need something that big, but maybe we do. So I've shared
Mhm.
it with you all. If you need me to resend it, let me know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Go
point.
ahead.
I guess a point of order for Sonia. Would would the council need to adopt the language access policy?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Okay. Um, any other items from the December meeting? Okay. Uh, the discussion on neurodivergency. Um,
Yeah.
Matt,
Yeah,
I'll
I
let
can.
you take the lead on this.
Sure. I just pulled together a brief statement and possibly plant some seeds for future discussions on
Okay.
policies and um, how we might better accommodate people who process the world differently enough to be considered neurodivergent. And,
Hmm.
therapist, what I understand is that when humans can't see things, so these are all invisible disabilities or different invisible differences in ability, people very
Hmm.
apply, um, apply issues of character or something else as vague and judgmental. So um, um, it is, I think it's an overlooked area and it impacts people across, all segments of their life. But I'll just read this. Neurodiversity refers to the natural variation in how human brains think, learn, and process information. Approximately 15 to 20% of the global population is neurodivergent, including individuals with autism, ADHD, dyslexia, and related cognitive differences. Neurodivergent individuals are present across all races, genders, cultures, and socioeconomic groups, making neurodiversity a core dimension of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Yet, many organizational systems, hiring, performance evaluations, communication norms, and workplace design are built primarily for neurotypical employees, creating structural inequities. Research and organizational experience consistently demonstrate that inclusive neurodiversity practices improve innovation, productivity, retention, psychological safety, and employee engagement. High-performing organizations treat neurodiversity not as a disability issue, but as a strategic advantage and equity imperative. Effective neurodiversity inclusion focuses on equity over equality, recognizing that different people require different supports to, to perform at their best. Creating environments where neurodivergent employees can thrive strengthens the entire workforce.
Okay.
Thank you.
Danielle, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I just wanted to share with you, at the state of Vermont, they recently worked on a language access policy. But one of the things that I thought was really helpful is that they had standards for what they called like plain language. And
Yes.
yeah, something, and maybe you guys are working on this or you all are working on this, but something that I've noticed is when I've gone in to like vote on something that the city has, uh, really hard to understand. There's no background information with it.
Mhm.
I feel like we could do such a better job. And then I feel like if we did that better job, people would be able to actually vote in an informed way instead of just maybe what somebody told them they should vote for. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Danielle. Sonia?
Danielle, I love that idea. Unfortunately, a lot of the language that's on the ballot is due to statute. So I'm thinking about like the school budget language, and it's like it's prescriptive. It's like this is what you have to put in for your ballot language. And so unfortunately, we can't put anything different on the ballot, but I think we could do a better job of explaining what the ballot items are saying beforehand. So I hear what you're saying. I don't think we can do it legally on the ballot, but we could do a better job of um, communicating before. So thank you for that.
Go ahead, Rick. You had your hand up?
Yeah, just an idea. It's probably not worth discussing right now, but like one possibility, maybe a language access policy for the city might say, okay, well, I don't know if it would be possible to have brochures explaining things in plain language when people go to vote, so they can read that and then say, okay, for ballot measure one, I want to vote yes.
And I do know that I have brought up it's been a while, but that the ballot language, for instance, on the school budget indicates the per pupil spending that is not actually per pupil spending, but per equalized, whatever the formula they use.
Mm.
Because it indicates that like 11,000 when if you look at the total expenditures and divide it by the number of students, it's more like 27,000. Um,
So if I
but
can interject this, it's the same thing. That's based on
that's
statute.
statute. Yeah. I believe that the state of Vermont is requiring misinformation on the school budget ballots.
Well, I wouldn't say that it's misinformation. It's the same information. So it's not taking into consideration grant funding and other sources of revenue that are not part of the general fund. So
Right.
I think if you look at any other budget, any other ballot, language for Montpelier, for whatever, you'd be able to compare apples to apples. And that's what that's doing.
Right. Now, my complaint is that it says it's per student and it's not. That's the complaint I have about that. But um, if they had put the per equalized, whatever, all that language that they have, I
Well, I
wouldn't
think
have a
now
problem
it's
with it.
long-term weighted average daily membership, so it's even more confusing.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Anything else regarding neurodivergency? Is there so
I
um go
I
ahead.
did want to ask, and Sonia, you talked about this at our last meeting, with the book group, I don't know when there's going to be another meeting of that, but I thought maybe a book about discrimination on the basis of neurodivergency might be a good topic for,
Okay.
especially for younger readers. But I don't know what's going on with that book group. I think you said something, the library was setting something up specifically for that. I don't remember.
Okay.
May I answer?
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So I haven't heard back from Kristen Bauman at the library, Chris, but we do want to continue to do some kind of programming. It's not necessarily going to be a book. I mean, maybe it will be a book, but it may also be an article. It may be a video. It may be anything to create better understanding for the wider community, for, unhoused people, for people who are struggling with addiction, for people who are neurodivergent, whatever the topic might be. And so I think that we could work with Kristen to um, use some of those. I think that it goes hand in hand with what we are trying to do as a committee. And so I think we could definitely work with her, and we could participate in those as, committee members, and encourage other people to participate as being, part of the Jedi B committee. And I'll keep you posted. I have to follow up with her. I've actually forgotten about it, so I apologize. But it's supposed to start again in January.
Great. Yeah, I'm really struck by the commonality of neurodivergency, the how prevalent it is, so to speak, in terms in even how you define it, number one, but assuming we all agree on a definition, there are lots of folks who have ADHD, for example, and just different things. So, different levels of autism. So I thought yeah, that would be I thought that might be a good topic. So anyway, um, there was something else I wanted to bring up real quick. And I'm trying to remember what it was. It was new business, but I'm not recalling it right now. I'm sorry. Anyway, that's all. Thanks.
Okay. Okay. Any other discussion? Do you want to work on getting any suggestions, Matt, in terms of where we go from here?
Well, the as was mentioned, the one of the biggest impacts is around employment, and I don't know, if there are other communities in the state that have municipalities with policies regarding accommodations for neurodivergence. The the ADA is very uses very plain language that says that employers must provide a reasonable accommodation to an employee that seeks it. But the normative court system has watered that down so much that it's not just like an employee at a company with a $500,000 budget can't request a $250,000 access ramp. An undue burden, that would be an undue burden, but an undue burden under the law as it's been litigated has been shrunk to the point where really any request for accommodations can be viewed legally as an undue burden for an employer. So it's just something to be aware of, and if there is a way through policy to counteract that, it's as I said, it's a tough world to have an invisible disability because people just form opinions, assumptions, and conclusions, and those become the way decisions are made. So, but yeah, exploring policy language that might help mitigate that, and we could start with the city as an employer.
Okay. Moving on to new business. Does anyone have any? Go
William,
ahead,
can I just say one more
Tanya.
thing?
Go ahead.
Matt, the other thing that I want to mention, and for the rest of the committee, the ADA, there used to be an ADA committee, and then that was we absorbed that. So we are technically the ADA committee as well.
Mhm.
So I think language access and having a discussion about what it's like to be neurodivergent and how the city, not just as an employer, but the city as a municipality can recognize that we need to have accommodations for all types of people and all types of abilities. Then I think that would be that's the whole point of our committee is being more inclusive. So I just bring that to your attention because I'm not sure if everybody knows that we're also the ADA committee.
Mhm. Thank you, Sonia. Discussion of items for future meetings. Is there anything anyone wants to propose for future meetings?
I was thinking, given the current political climate, people who identify as trans in communities across the country are being targeted. And I don't know what form it would take, but maybe getting community members who are trans to come in and just talk about their lived experience. We are all human beings in the end, and
Mhm.
um, promoting um, promoting that idea that everybody deserves respect. So I don't know quite what that would look like, but that would be I think that would be an important topic to cover.
Okay. If you have anyone that you and for that matter, if there's anyone who believes that there would be someone who would make a good guest speaker for our meeting to on a topic, each before each meeting, I will send out and I'm sending out an email with suggestions, anyone who has suggestions. And if you have anyone who you think would be a good guest speaker, that can be part of the suggestions, and we can try to work on something like that.
Okay.
Okay,
So something
go ahead.
I wonder if we can add as a topic of discussion, like maybe kind of a format for understanding like how and when our subcommittees meet. Because I'm not too sure. Like I'm kind of new at working on boards and committees, so I don't know like what's appropriate for discussion in this public meeting versus within the subcommittee. Um, I know from maybe two meetings ago. Let me just take a look at my notes. It looks like there's um, uh, it looks like the ordinance committee is William and Chris. Is that correct?
Hmm.
And education right now is only Greg. I'm not sure if that's correct.
Joellen's also on that committee, but she's not a member of the committee.
Oh, okay.
But if you or Matt or Sean wish to be on one of those, one committee or the other, um, let us know either here or at a later date, and we can make that happen. I think, Greg, I think you probably are now the de facto uh, leader of the education committee right now. So I think the thing to do would probably be to have you organize any meetings that you're going to have as far as that's concerned. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. And so, and obviously you can just reach out to Greg if you're wishing to be on that committee. And as I said at the last meeting, anyone who wants to go over ordinances, we can all go over them and look at them and see if there's anything else that we think warrants our attention.
Okay, as far as reviewing ordinances, any city
Yes.
ordinances.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, so as far as in other words, like if I want to work on, researching ordinances, I can just email you directly, suggest something, and
Yeah,
that would be considered subcommittee work.
yeah.
Okay.
And you can do it on, I think we're basically doing it on our own and just we haven't met
Okay.
as a group. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that it's pretty informal, the subcommittee, um, uh, the existence of the subcommittees when they meet and so on is they're pretty much independent, but I agree that we should have some mechanism for them reporting back to the main committee, what the results of their work are, from time to time. So I think that would definitely be a good uh, practice. Um, I did want to say briefly as a news subject, I don't know how the committee feels about this, but so I'm throwing it out there. I'm really concerned about what's going on nationwide with the increasing uh, militarization of federal enforcement of supposedly related to immigration, but it's seeming like it's spilling over in everything. And I would love to have a meeting with like our police chief, um I just to express concerns about um the extent if any to which they are obligated to cooperate with federal law enforcement should they come to Barry. um I that's a I think that's a big concern. Um, and so maybe a future meeting that could happen. I don't know, but I'm throwing it out there. This what's going on in Minneapolis right now is just yet another reminder, but it's happening everywhere. So I thought I would bring it up. Thanks.
Okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but does Vermont consider itself a sanctuary state?
I do not know.
Okay.
I don't think so. I should shut up because I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was, but I'm not certain of that. But okay. Okay. Any other items? And again, if you come up with something between now and the next meeting, just respond to the email, or you can even email me directly before that, and we can add that to the agenda. Okay. Moving on then to visitors and public comment. And are there any visitors who wish to make a public comment here?
We do have one visitor, and I'd like to just say something to introduce them. Aurora Flynn is my work colleague
Okay.
and is here observing this meeting because they want to join the committee.
Okay. Aurora, you want to?
I'm sorry, William, I need to step away.
Okay.
Wanted to let you know, but thank you for everybody, and I will see you next time.
Yep. And that will be February 12th.
Okay. Thank you. Good night.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay. Aurora, did you want to say anything?
Just hi, and I'm excited to meet everyone. I've lived in Barre for like a little over a year, and I'm trying to get more involved. And Rick has talked about this, and Rick is great. So, yeah.
Okay.
Welcome.
Yep. Okay. Anyone else? Yes, Sonia.
Aurora, do you need any information on how to apply to be on the committee? Yes.
Yeah.
I believe that there's information on the website, on the city website, but if you would be okay if Rick shares any contact information for you. I could send you the details of that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay,
Okay. All
great.
right. I can
Fantastic.
do that.
Thank you.
Sweet.
Okay.
Thanks, Aurora.
Yay, we're gonna have a full committee. Imagine that.
Okay. And I see Jim is also here. Did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, thank you. I was just listening in.
Okay. Okay. Um, and the next meeting date would be scheduled for February 12th at 6:30 p.m. if unless that's a problem for anybody. Okay. And
Second Thursday, correct?
yes, second Thursday.
Should be good. Should be good on my end.
Okay. And I would accept a motion
I
to
so much
adjourn.
to adjourn the meeting.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
I
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right. Good to see you
Well,
all.
we will see you in February.
Good
See you in a
night.
month.
All right.
Good
Good
night.
Thank
night,
you, everyone.
everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay.
Mhm.